and pro wrestling podcast that we bring you each and every week. Subscribe to the channel if you could, hit the bell notification button, and of course, drop a like on the video. It is our Monday show, not a Monday mashup. Mark may be joining us a little bit later. He's a bit caught up at the moment, so hopefully he might be able to get on later on for the show. If not, we'll push through anyway, as we always do. But if you could, yeah, absolutely drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We're going to be taking a look at the Euros, kicked off there on Friday evening. Really, really good. I have to say, I'm really enjoying it so far. And, you know, it's not often. Sometimes the group stages of these things can be a little bit, I don't know, a little bit laborious, as they say, but not this time round. This time round it's looking really, really good, and high level of football being played as well. I have to say, very, very exciting to watch. And we'll go down through the groups. We'll talk about the results. We'll talk about the key factors in terms of matches coming up. Obviously, Group F still to kick off, probably gets underway tomorrow. But we'll start off, as always, with the show. We got a new slide for you for the sponsor, Hogan Elite Trophy Hire. Make sure you are going over there, folks, and subscribing and following and all that kind of good stuff there on Instagram and on Facebook. If you do have a requirement for a trophy for that trophies for that special event, or charity event, or whatever it is, make sure you're hitting up Marky over there on Hogan Elite Trophy Hire. These are some of the images from Saturday. The Man United legends were playing against Longford on Saturday. I believe it was excellent. As you can see there, some of the pictures there. Mark's there with Lee Sharp. There's the trophies on the bus, getting their pride of place, of course. He's there, of course, with Mike Phelan as well, and Andrew Cole was there, and all. Clayton Blackmore. Shout out to the boys as well. Mike Phelan and Clayton Blackmore gave us shout outs on the podcast. I'll put them up as shorts during the week as well. So a big thank you to those guys as well. I believe it was a brilliant event, packed out house as well. So hats off to Legends 11, Tony, and all the boys there as well for putting that together for Longford. And much more coming up as well. Plenty of these Legends games coming up throughout the year. We had Tony on a few weeks ago. Make sure you check out that episode if you want. It was fantastic. Some of the stories are just absolutely outrageous. And great fun and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Hogan Elite Trophy Hire, our sponsor, of course, of the Monday show, be it the mashup or the Euro coverage or whatever it is. We can also keep you up to date, let you know there's 48 minutes gone in the game this evening. Austria 0, France 1. Wobber with the OG for France. Marginally going ahead, but Austria have had their chances. And just before that goal went in, there was a great save by the French keeper, Magnan, to keep it 0-0 at that time. So Austria giving as good as they can get. Quite a balanced game, and nice to see it as well. But of course, France with such a plethora of talent, as they say. So we'll keep you updated on that one as we go out through the evening and through the show, you know. Big up Baz in the chat. How up, Baz? How are you? What's the crack? All good. Baz was in me favour, having a good laugh today and stuff like that. And I hope you're good, my friend. Before we get into the show, folks, it was to say the least a tough weekend for football. Obviously, everyone has heard at this stage, but these two boys had passed away. Obviously, Mathieu Sark had passed away. He was the goalkeeper for Millwall, 26 years of age. Very, very, very sad. And also, of course, a man who needs no introduction, of course, Kevin Campbell, sadly passed away as well, 54 years of age. Arsenal, Everton, to name but a few, and stuff like that. And I always gave my own team a bit of a torture when he played against us and those Merseyside derbies and stuff like that. But yeah, I have to say his personality was infectious. I loved that Dicky Bow Thursday kind of thing and all that kind of stuff. And he was a larger than life character, really, and what a footballer he was as well. And most of the professionals who played with him or dealt with him and stuff like that said he was a heck of a character and a great guy and all that kind of stuff. And even when he started there, I reckon maybe about 2 years ago and stuff like that, he was beginning to appear on podcasts and stuff like that, and he would go on anyone's podcast. You know, I know there's a girl out there, Sophie, who I follow. Shout out to Sophie, check her out. She's doing her TV and stuff like that. He was on her podcast, and he was just an absolute sweetheart. But he was always giving of his time and stuff like that to any of the podcasts he went on. He didn't care whether you had 1 million followers or whether you had 2,000 followers. It didn't matter. He was always happy if he was available to impart that infectious personality that he had and stuff like that. So a huge loss to the footballing world, Kevin Campbell. And I know it affected a lot of players over the weekend. Obviously, Ian Wright would have been pretty close. And Mark was telling me, of course, Andy Cole was rocked by the news as well at the Legends game at the weekend and stuff like that. It's such a close-knit community, those players going back through those earlier Premier League years and stuff like that and all. But he will be sadly missed, there's no doubt about it. Very, 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 very sad to lose these people. And it's really, really sad. And then news tonight came out as well that famous DJ Dario G has passed away as well at the age of 53 after a battle with cancer. Famous for putting together the anthem for FIFA, the World Cup 98. But plenty of other dance tunes as well. But very, very sad to see people passing away at the moment. And such a young age at the moment. Kevin 54, I'm 52, Dario G 53, and then this young lad Sark as well. 26 years of age. Very, very, very sad. And I know a number of other players passed away as well over the weekend, some legends and older players and stuff like that as well. And we'll pay them their respects in due course throughout the week as well. But very, very sad. Acers, big up. Kevin Campbell was a massive Arsenal legend. He was, yeah. And listen, he gave us socks as well on the blue side of Merseyside as well. So yeah, huge loss. And you could see the affection he had. Some of the videos pouring out over the weekend when he was walking into games and stuff like that. He would be absolutely mobbed by fans. Absolutely mobbed by fans. So listen, our thoughts, prayers, and condolences go out to the families of these two boys, especially, but anyone else who lost their life over the weekend and stuff like that, and who sadly passed away. You know, Daz is in. Big up, Daz. What's the crack, Niall? All good. Don't forget, folks. Tomorrow, we're doing Pro Wrestling Weekly tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So just change of day. Just make sure to note that in your diary, or hit that bell notification button. That will let you know that as well. The reason I'm doing that is because one, Dazzler Darren has a tennis tournament on Wednesday, and I'm potentially going to watch that. It's in Bray, Wicklow County Tennis Club, and I'm going to be going to watch that. And I might shoot a little bit of footage for the channel. Let's see what happens and stuff like that. So I'll keep you updated on that, but I'm going to go and watch that on Wednesday night. And also, Ace, just to remind us as well, absolutely brilliant news. We all prayed for this over the weekend, especially the red side, Merseyside, and all the Liverpool fans, and of course all the Scottish fans and stuff like that as well. News that Alan Hansen has come out of intensive care. Absolutely brilliant news. And it looks like, we heard from Graham Souness as well, that it looks like he's going to make a full recovery, which is absolutely the best news we could have got over the weekend. So hats off to Suey and the boys, and of course Alan Hansen. We wish you well on your recovery. So brilliant news. Right. Before we get into the Euros, let's talk about a few things. A couple of things that are interesting that I want to talk about. We will talk about some transfers as well. I took a selection of about 9 transfers. I don't want to be bombarding you every show with millions of transfers, because most of it is just utter crap. It's just filler at the moment and stuff like that. No, Acers is in, yeah. Dazzler rocking Jim Cornette tennis racket. Absolutely, 100%. But yeah, let's begin. Before we get into transfers, look, we have to talk about this. Obviously, there was trouble. We seen it yesterday, English fans clashing with the Serbian fans in Gelsenkirchen as well. And, you know, it's interesting because the report that we spoke about came out last week talking about how there was literally no trouble at all in Qatar. And, of course, there's no surprise, because we know by the local rules and the local laws of the land, you're not going to mess around over in Qatar, right? But once we got back into Europe and we're back in Germany, obviously it raises its head again, which is sad to say. Now, it was quite a small incident and stuff like that. It wasn't too big. I seen there was a number of injuries. I seen one of the fans with a head injury must have took one of those chairs or something to the head or something like that. So, but again, it's not something that we want to see. We want people going out there having a great time, enjoying the tournament and all that kind of stuff. That's the way it should be. And it's absolutely brilliant at the moment when you see the stadiums are absolutely packed out and they're full of colour, and all the flags and the banners and everything all really brings you back to these tournaments and stuff like that and how important they are. And we should appreciate them more, because remember, during COVID and all these kind of things, we didn't really have this. So it's nice to see that we have this, and it really makes for a great summer. Aces is in saying Mbappe just missed an open goal. I'll keep you updated anyway. 55 minutes gone, still 1-0 to France. So game's still in the balance. So let's see what happens there. And I think Austria gave a good showing in the first half as well. Really unlucky with the OG. I don't know what the defender was thinking, heading the ball back into his net and stuff like that. Kind of a weird one and stuff like that. But again, this is not the stuff we want to be reporting on at all when we think about the Euros. We want people out enjoying themselves, taking in the culture of Germany, the whole tournament, all that kind of stuff in a positive manner. So we just thought. Now, on the flip side of that, this really bugged the hell out of me today. I don't know if anyone's seen this today. Netherlands fans accused of blackface after dressing up as Ruud Gullit, which I thought is in the spirit of the game, where we want fans to go and enjoy themselves and have a really, really good time. This is the kind of absolute crap reporting that we have to get. These fans being accused of blackface. This is three guys dressed up as Ruud Gullit, probably their hero growing up and stuff like that, supporting the Dutch team and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. And I just think for people to start, if you are going to take offense to this, you really need to check yourself and get yourself sorted out. This in no way, look at those three guys smiling, having a great time in the crowd there at the game. There's probably not a racial bone in their body. I'm sure they absolutely do not care. And they're just there to have a good time dressed up as Ruud Gullit, who was probably their hero growing up. And this is the kind of bullshit reporting that you get on this. So we go from fans who are killing each other in Gelsenkirchen and going absolutely ballistic, the three Dutch fans here, dressed up as Ruud Gullit, having the crack, few beers, getting into the party mode of all that kind of stuff. And they're being singled out as if this is a racial kind of thing that's going on. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I think people really need to check themselves. I think there's just some people out there who are just living their lives at the moment now, just trolling and searching for stuff to have a go off. And it's really, really sad. So my message to those boys and the Dutch fans and all, keep it up. Have a great time. Don't be listening to these people going on with this crap. So there you go. That's my little vent. Roddy Piper, bad news, Brown, WrestleMania 6 vibes. Not really now. Not really, in fairness, Acers now. I wouldn't say it had the same kind of connotation, if you like. Just my view on it. Now, I thought the opening ceremony, the other night was really good on Friday night, but really this man, Beckenbauer, being honoured at the event, and I thought it was a really nice piece. I thought it felt a little bit uncomfortable. I think Klinsmann walked out and Beckenbauer's wife, I think it was, and she was bringing out the trophy and stuff like that. And at one stage, I think she was struggling to hold the trophy because they kept her there for a long time and stuff like that. But you could see when the images of them were flashing up on the screens and stuff like that, and Klinsmann looking up at it, and she was taking it in. She was beginning to get quite emotional and stuff like that, and the camera was on her and stuff like that and all. So, but nice to see the great man being honoured in the way that he was at Euro 2024 and all. And what an unbelievable player Franz Beckenbauer was. So there you go. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Right, let's talk a little bit of transfers and then we'll get into the Euros, yeah? And if you've heard anything else, transfers, if you want to drop anything into the chat, feel free to do it. These are some of the ones that I picked up on today. Kvaratskhelia, agent, puts Premier League clubs on alert. This boy wants out of Napoli. I don't know what's happened there or what's going on. Or, there's a lot of players at Napoli seem to want to exit the building and stuff like that at the moment. Conte, I think, just took over and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. I wouldn't have thought so. But he's looking for a move anyway. The fee is somewhere in the region of 120 million. I don't see anyone paying that type of bread for this guy. But it would be interesting to see if someone does pull the trigger on it. No doubt in the guy's talent. He's an absolutely extremely talented player. Um, but I just think 120 million at the moment is a stretch. But we'll keep you posted if that moves on that. Al Etihad again preparing a monster Mohamed Salah offer. This came out again yesterday. Interesting to see if it will happen. Not too sure. The soundings out of Liverpool is that it's not going to happen, that he's going to stay, he's going to hang around or whatever it is. But it'll be interesting to see if an offer did come in. Would Michael Edwards like to put that amount of money? They're talking in excess of 100 million into the coffers there to spend with Richard Hughes, preparing Arnie Slot for the season ahead. But interesting to see. Manchester United are still interested in signing Xavi Simons. Interesting to see if they proceed with that. Certainly, he plays on that right side, which has been a kind of a conundrum for United. Obviously, they had Sancho out there. Anthony obviously hasn't worked out and stuff like that, so they could potentially be in the market for a right-sided attacker. And this boy certainly has all the quality there to deliver on a move like that. Probably needs just to maybe put on a little bit of size. I think at times in possession, where he's very, very good in terms of his ball play, I think in possession he might be a little bit light in terms of the Premier League, but a fantastic player. It could be a brilliant signing, and certainly we'd love to see him employ his trade in the Premier League. Liverpool and Chelsea also interested in bidding for Somerville. This has raised its heads again. I thought it was gone away for us. I thought we had moved on from it. But obviously not. Just give me 1 second there, folks. The door has just rang. Come on, Ronnie. No, sorry about that, folks. Let's get back into it. Yeah, so Somerville. I'm not sure he's a player I want to see at Liverpool. I'm not convinced by it. But let me know your thoughts on it. Daz reckons Salah stays. Yeah, I think he probably stays, but it'd be interesting to see. They might test the resolve with another big bid, Daz. Be interesting to see how Liverpool react to it this time. What else am I looking for? Brandwaite. Everton have rejected the initial 35 million bid from Man United. Man United not looking to be put kind of over a barrel, as they say in the market, on this one. But news coming out tonight as well that another bid is imminent, and they're going to drop a bid of somewhere in the region of 50 million plus 10 million in add-ons, or else 45 million and 15 million in add-ons. So it'll be interesting to see if that tests Everton's resolve. One that I really liked the other day, Adam Lallana leaving Brighton and heading back to Southampton. Kind of nearly where it all began, if you like, you know what I mean? So nice to see him heading back there to help out Southampton, who have just got promoted and stuff like that. And certainly the experience of Adam Lallana will only prove really, really important to Southampton in their first season back after being promoted into the Premier League. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And it's nice to see it because I'd say Adam Lallana, there was probably offers from the MLS and places like that and stuff like that. And maybe he might have even gotten a move to Saudi and stuff like that. No, but nice that he went back to the club kind of where it all began and stuff like that. So it was kind of a nice one. Bayern have made contact with Chelsea over Levi Colwill. I know Liverpool are very interested in this boy as well. And it'll be interesting to see what happens there and what the plan is at Chelsea there for that boy. Extremely good player, Levi Colwill. Big fan of his. Was brilliant when he was out on loan. And Roma's owner obviously has agreed a deal to buy Everton I think they were talking somewhere the other day, somewhere in the region of 450 million or something like that. So that's good news for Everton fans, especially on the back of that 777 debacle and stuff like that. And also good to see that there's a change of ownership coming there, and certainly some money coming into the club as well, especially in such a pivotal season. We heard Seamus Coleman has signed on again for another year as well, and this will be their last year at Goodison. So it's really, really important that from a financial point of view, they sort out a lot of the stuff that's been going on there, and they push forward now as they look into a new era at Everton Football Club with that fantastic new stadium on the docks and stuff like that, and also see what happens. Jose Mourinho is also interested in bringing Victor Lindelof to join Fenerbahce. I think he's been a big fan of Victor Lindelof since his time in Man United. This will be a good move for the boy. Also a good move for United as well, because obviously with United bringing in Brantwaite, and they're also looking at potentially Todibo. Chances are they might bring in two defenders, and with a blow the kind of defensive uh, grouping there at the moment, they obviously need to shed that down a little bit. Obviously Varane left the building, but they probably have to bring out maybe another one or two out of that pool. The young boy that they had playing at the back, his name escapes me now, but he could go out on loan potentially. But Lindelof could potentially leave, and it'd be interesting to see how Lindelof fares out with a move like that. It'd be very, very interesting. So they're the ones that I picked out today just to have a quick look at. As I said, I don't want to be bombarding you with loads and loads of transfers, because most of it is just absolute hogwash anyway. But let me know your thoughts. If you see other transfers out there, do you think? I know we actually put in a bid ourselves, Liverpool, for Euro, but it doesn't look like it's probably going to happen. I think it was rejected. They said it was a Premier League side. Apparently it was us. I think the bid was something like 42 million. I think they're holding out for 50, but the boy has expressed that he wants to go to Real Madrid. And I did put up a post on that today saying, look, if the boy wants to go to Real Madrid, why are we pursuing him? Because he'll just use us as a stepping stone to Madrid within 2 years anyway. So, even from a money balling point of view, probably doesn't make sense for a short period. And as a player, very hard to build a squad up like that with a young player like that who kind of probably doesn't want to be there. So let's see what happens. But they're kind of the main things that are out there at the moment. Everything else, kind of contract renewals and everything else, are continuing at the clubs. The window is wide open, but there hasn't been a huge amount of activity yet. But I imagine that activity will start to get ratcheted up over the next couple of weeks as well. And especially as the Euros progress as well, and we start to see potentially some new stars evolving out of this tournament and stuff like that. May change the minds and the plans of some teams when they start seeing some of these players and stuff like that. So very, very interesting to see how that all goes. I can tell you it's 67 minutes gone, still 1-0 to France. Austria is still giving a good account of themselves. Earlier, Acers let us know as well, and Mbappe missed an open goal. Let's see, could Austria, I should say, do something? But very, very interesting. And I think a lot of people would have gone into this and think of France, they'd be okay in this one and stuff like that and all, but still a tight game. Let's talk about the Euros. May as well get into it now as we start. We're keeping our plan organised there as we do. Let's start off, where else? Group A. Kicked off on Friday night with Germany versus Scotland. The game was literally over once it hit 2-0. Penalty decision overturned for a free kick outside the box, then a penalty given, the lad getting sent off, and then Germany ran out comfortable winners. Scotland picking up a consolation goal with an OG off Rudiger's head, unsavable. But a lot of work for Stevie Clark and Scotland to do now. Tough uphill battle for them after a defeat like that, to get the guys motivated again and get them lifted up and all. They have a big game coming up now on the 19th. Against on the 23rd, I should say. On the 19th, I'm right. On the 19th, Scotland are playing Switzerland, who also picked up a really good win, 3-1 against Hungary. Hungary are really flattered to deceive, haven't they, really? And I was expecting some good stuff from Hungary, especially with our own Dominic Szoboszlai in the team, captain in it and stuff like that, but really, really struggled. But I'm not too sure these two games coming up could be the games that just finish off the group. And you could be running out with two finishing games. Switzerland and Germany may go head to head for top of the group in that final game, with Scotland and Hungary trying to bow out into a third place kind of position, maybe to qualify on the take up maybe, or something like that. But it's looking at the moment like Germany will probably be Hungary and Switzerland will probably beat Scotland, and both teams will be on 6 points qualified with a game to go. And then the shootout will be between Switzerland and Germany to see who tops the group. And that'll be interesting as well, especially if Switzerland can find a way to top the group and Germany come second. Now, Germany looked really good the other night. Nice free-flowing football, everyone getting in on the act, lots of confidence in it and all the rest of it and stuff, which is really, really important. Yeah, well, I see. Daz is in. I messaged Jamie also. Did Russell get back to you, Noel? I'm taking a break from just Jamie's channel. No, nothing yet. No problem at all. No panic anyway, Daz. No hassle at all. We'll sort it out later. So that's Group A. So Group A is going to, I reckon it's going to, after the next round of games, I reckon it's going to be done with a spare game to go, and then you have Switzerland and Germany shooting out for top of the group. Group B as well, very interesting. Spain beating Croatia 3-0. Croatia missing a couple of opportunities there as well. But Spain, there was a lot of questions going into this tournament about kind of youth and inexperience and all that kind of stuff. But the likes of Morata still in there coming up trumps. Italy against Albania kind of laboured, went 1-0 down in the first minute. Very unexpected, but Italy got into the rhythm. Of course, Nicola Barella providing the goal to win it early on as well. So kind of pandered out really in terms of a game and stuff like that. There wasn't a whole lot in it after that. Yeah, kind of. I think it went 2-1, I think, after about 17, 18 minutes. And after that, there wasn't a huge amount in it, to be honest. So that's Group B. I'd still probably expect. I think we could still see something from Croatia here. This group could tighten up with the next round of games. I'd expect Croatia to beat Albania, and then Spain and Italy is going to be a very interesting tie. So we could have quite a very tight group here going into the last round of games. I would expect Spain to beat Albania, and then between Croatia and Italy could be a decider for that second place in that group. So there could be. It was one that we did pinpoint that was kind of 2 from 3, and that could be not a shock on the cards, but certainly a decision to be made in that final game. Group C, Slovenia and Denmark 1-1. Denmark taking the lead with Christian Eriksen. Real good feeling about this one, obviously, with what happened last time. Christian Eriksen nearly passing away on the pitch and stuff like that. And to see him come back and still be playing football and all is absolutely fabulous and great to see it. But going out 1-1 against Slovenia, coming back into it. And then England beating Serbia 1-0 last night. Brilliant goal by Jude Bellingham. Real courageous, powerful header to go in there and win that. You could have absolutely knocked yourself clean out with the defender, but had the courage to go in there and do it. After that, kind of in the half, huffed and puffed, did all right first 35 minutes or so, but after that really, really laboured. Second half, really, really poor. And the one thing I found about it as well is you're starting to see already, the Southgate sort of fingerprint on this kind of situation where, if you're 1-0 up, shut it down. Like, he was trying to shut the game down after 35 minutes yesterday. And it's tough to see when he has such a plethora of talent available to him. You know what I mean? You look at the changes that he made, Gallagher coming on and stuff like that. Jared Bowen on the right-hand side, who obviously created a great chance for Harry Kane. So unlucky not to get a second. But when you think about what he has available, he's Foden playing out of position on the left. All he had to do was switch Foden over onto the right. You know what I mean? And bring Gordon onto the left and stuff like that and keep that attack going. But instead, they really let Serbia back into the game, and they were very, very lucky in the end to get away with a 1-0 win. But as they say, sometimes you need to grow into these tournaments. And obviously this English side, it's a very different side. A lot of players in there playing in different positions that they haven't been playing or even playing together. Very, very new. Not a huge amount of experience in it, so they are relying on certain elements of it to come together. But when it kind of goes astray, it's who do you lean on in there? You know, you got Kane in there, you know, the back pairing of Stones. Gahey, I thought did really really well, but you know your main men are kind of Kane and Pickford and stuff like that. Kyle Walker's in there as well, but none of them really grabbing this youth and stuff like that. And really, when Serbia got hold of the game, a better quality side like that would have put England to the sword. So really need to be careful with that kind of thing, you know. Group D. Group D is Poland and Netherlands. Holland picking up a really good win against Poland, finishing 2-1. I do like the look of this Dutch side. A lot of players in there, a lot of options, stuff like that. I still think you're going to have a problem up front if you're relying on Memphis Depay. But I think other than that, I think there's a lot of exciting players in that side. Cody Gakpo's in there, Xavi Simons, obviously. Really, really talented crop of young players. And then obviously with Van Dijk at the back and stuff like that, you have that bit of quality and experience as well. And I could say a lot of really good things happening with this Dutch side. You know, if they can win the group, get a reasonable draw, you could see them going well into the latter stages and stuff like that. Plenty of talent there and stuff like that. And some really good options. Daniel Mallon and all to come off the bench and stuff like that. And they've been really unlucky. The only thing I'd be concerned about is that midfield. They've lost some key players in that midfield, like Frankie de Jong and stuff like that. So that midfield is kind of, you know, it's an interesting conundrum and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. The other thing that I do like as well, that and all, and it's mad to think his progression like Burnley and stuff like that, and then into Man United, and then you know, I think he went out on loan at Wolfsburg and all. He was out as far as I know. So, but like very very interesting. But he gives you that old style centre forward came on it more rather than that kind of style thing with that more brutality and you know, and they're back now anyway. Um, Acers. Do, 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 do. England will be destroyed when they play a decent team. Yeah, I think that's. I don't know. Maybe they might find their rhythm and maybe they might grow into the tournament as things go along. Let's see. Let's see what happens. But certainly on the basis of last night, certainly there was a problem there. Um, Now Acers again. Let's see. again. And can't wait for Premier League fixtures release 9 a.m. So can't wait. Yeah, really looking forward to the fixtures. Yeah. Hopefully we're back now. Sorry about that, folks. I think it's the broadband is acting up at the moment. I think they're doing work up the road here and stuff like that, so they're messing around with. But yeah, the last comment we had there was Acers in relation to the fixtures coming out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Very, very interesting. Always people looking, uh, planning a lot of their year ahead and stuff like that when the fixtures come out. Interesting to see what the way the fixtures are made up and all that. So people planning their trips off. Let's take a look at Group E. So Group E at the moment, Romania 3 somewhat. I didn't expect it to be this steep a result. And then of course Belgium with the shock of the round, or should it be a shock? Slovakia beating them 1-0 earlier on. Huge result for Slovakia. But Belgium really, really, really poor. And it feels like as if that kind of golden era of that Belgium side has gone past them now. Lots of questions over Kevin De Bruyne. Um, Especially throughout this season and stuff like that. But also a lot of links with him and all that kind of stuff. And is it getting to that stage? We've seen him at times this season being subbed, and obviously came back off a tough injury as well. So that was obviously going to be really, really tough for him. But it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. Belgium against Romania should be an interesting one. Romania obviously coming off a real big win, 3-0 against the Ukraine. So a really important set of matches coming out. Slovakia against the Ukraine, Belgium against Romania. Wouldn't it be crazy? Slovakia beat the Ukraine. They will have qualified for the next round with a game to spare. But certainly an interesting group. We did expect Belgium to top the group and be the team to lead the through and stuff like that. But God, they were awful tonight. Some of their players. Lukaku did get an equaliser laid on, but it was ruled out for a handball. So pretty unlucky from that point of view. But Group E is going to be an interesting one. Could we see a situation where Belgium crashes out of that group? That would be absolutely awful. And then, as we said, Group F gets off to a running tomorrow. Turkey versus Georgia and Portugal versus the Czech Republic. Portugal obviously might tip for the tournament. I think they've got an unbelievable 11, but they've got an unbelievable squad as well. If you've seen them playing against Ireland the other day, just to be able to take off the likes of Rafael Leao and bring on Diogo Jota and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Just absolutely phenomenal. There in the chat. there must be streaming or something going on here, folks. You might get your 160 goal, beat the boogie bet. I didn't do the 160 goal. I did the goal in every game of the group stage, and I did a goal in every game of the tournament. So really, the Belgium one was the closest one really so far, and of course England 1-0 as well. But there's been a couple of close ones. I'm not sure if the 4 or more saves in each match is still going. I think one of the matches might have let me down, but most of them have been 4 or more saves. So very, very interesting to see how that goes. Let's take a quick check back on Group D. 85 minutes gone, still 1-0 to France. Interesting to see. Could Austria do something in the dying moments there? So that's it, folks. That's your wrap up tonight for the Euros. Enjoy the French game. I will catch you tomorrow night for Pro Wrestling Weekly. Interesting show ahead. We're going to be doing a review of Clash at the Castle. We're going to be looking forward to Forbidden Door, to name but a few, and plenty of other news in between. Of course, Stephen is in. Big up, Stephen. Albania, Slovenia, Slovakia, but no Ireland. The FAI are a disgrace. They are a disgrace. And that question was asked the other day. It was posed on Twitter. There was a question asked, how come these countries are getting to the finals and Ireland couldn't do it? And I made the point that all those other teams have had football associations that didn't party for 20 years on the money, and they invested it in, one, their grassroots, and two, the coaching, which is most important. And that's what happened there. Daz, Niall, got some horses for this week at Ascot. Brilliant. Send them on, Daz. Always appreciate the tips as always. So don't forget, tomorrow night, folks, 8 o'clock, Pro Wrestling Weekly. We'll have a bit of crack on that show, talking about the devastation of what happened to Drew McIntyre. I've labelled it Drew's story and stuff like that, but you'll be able to let me know your thoughts at Clash at the Castle. And how did it fare out? How did it compare to Backlash and all these other things and stuff like that? Let me know how you felt about it, and what your thoughts were on it. And also, of course, when you're in these shows as well, let me know your thoughts. How do you feel how the Euros are going and stuff like that? As always, we love your comments and stuff like that. But make sure you're liking on the way out as well. Hey, legends, big up, Romy One Kenobi. Good to see you in there, my friend. And also, I missed the live. Damn, not a bother. You get it on the replay, my friend, and you get it tomorrow night. You'll get us on Pro Wrestling Weekly, 8 o'clock Tuesday, one day early, because I am going to see Dazzler compete in a tennis tournament, which should be fun, I should say. And Daz is in. Roll me one, Kenobi. There you go. Folks, until next time, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video. Let us know your thoughts on the Euros as well, and we will talk to you again real soon. Cheers, folks.